what are some strategies or a strategy that you use either with yourself or with your clients on how to create a caloric deficit? Because as we know, calories matter, and in order for someone to lose some body fat, we have to be in a caloric deficit as opposed to a caloric surplus. So what are some strategies or a strategy that you use that you can share with us?
So I have two simple strategies that I think are really helpful when you're trying to create a caloric deficit. The first one is cooking more of your food at home so that you can control exactly what goes into it. The second one is tied right into that. So if you are cooking your food from home and you do normally have more starchy, dense carbohydrates on your plate, say things like potatoes or rice, those things aren't bad. But to create a caloric deficit, an easy way to do that would be to replace a scoop of the potatoes with a scoop of something that's more fibrous, more nutrient dense, more colorful. So replace that with some type of vegetable that's green, or a salad, or carrots, or something that's got more nutrients, less calories, but that's still going to fill you up at the end of the day.
Nice. I like that. One thing that I've done, I've seen, and I see a lot of people do it as well, is like, instead of using like regular rice, they've used cauliflower rice. And there's so many other now, especially nowadays, there's a lot of companies that are coming out with really tasty kind of swaps, and they're spaghetti squash and things like that, where you can't really taste the difference, and it saves you a few hundred calories just by swapping that out. So that's a great strategy.
Absolutely.
So
what about you? What are some of yours?
So I got two essentially that kind of work hand in hand. One thing that I've done when I was younger, we used to, my parents had these large plates, right? We had these large glass plates, and that's essentially what gave us the awareness of how much food we were going to eat. So we had to fill the plate. So we might have 2 servings of rice, 2 servings of chicken, and that plate looked like, okay, this is how much serving size should be for that given plate. So one of the things that I do, and to this day still works, and with my clients, is just to buy eat off of smaller plates, use smaller bowls. Think of cereal. If you get a regular bowl of cereal and you put in 1 serving, it looks like nothing, versus if you had a smaller bowl and you put 1 serving, you might fill that thing up, and psychologically, you're almost tricking yourself into thinking, wow, I'm actually getting a pretty good serving size, when in fact it's the same serving size, just now we're comparing it to what we're using to eat off of, right? So smaller plates, smaller bowls, smaller cups if you're gonna have juice or whatever that may be. And the second strategy, kind of similar to that, this is what I typically do. I did this literally 2 days ago, is when I go out to eat with friends and go to a restaurant, I automatically ask for a to-go box. And what I do is I cut up half of whatever I'm going to eat, and I put it straight into the to-go box. I eat the rest, and then now I have the second serving when I get home later on or the next day. So psychologically, you can see these 2 strategies are playing on your mindset and your awareness. Something that you talked about before is to teach you, hey, you're not really that hungry. You're just probably eating because it's there and it's literally right in front of you. So if you can have a smaller plate, or you can order a to-go box, or you can actually, there's a lot of restaurants, you can just ask them like, hey, can you plate half of my order in a to-go and just bring out the rest? And that tends to work really well, because you don't feel quote unquote cheated, or you don't feel like you're wasting food, because there might be a few pieces left and you're just going to eat them because you don't want them to go to waste.
Absolutely. I think what you said about the psychology is super important. So sometimes you do have to trick yourself, and putting half of it in a box or putting it on a smaller plate is a great way to do that. I think another way to do that is just to start to pay attention a little bit more. So be more mindful when you're actually eating. Are you actually hungry right now? Why are you eating this? Is this making you feel good? Am I full? Paying attention to those things, slowing down your chewing so that you're eating less overall, you're paying attention, you're stopping when you're full. So I think all those things are really helpful, and hopefully will help the listeners here help create that caloric deficit a little bit easier. So
yeah, and one other thing, last one is even not going, again, I've heard this before, but I never really like understood it, but not going shopping when you're hungry. Because
Yes.
I tend to put some things in my cart that I definitely didn't even care about or wanted, but because I was starving at that given time, it's an extra $30 that I spent, and it's probably usually not the healthiest of options because I'm just starving. So have a little something.
Great one.
Go, especially go to Costco. Costco will get you.
It will. They will always get you. Yes. Always have a snack before you go into the grocery store.
Nice.
Awesome,
all right.
Jared.
So we'll definitely, thanks for taking the time to answer these questions, and we'll be doing these weekly segments, answering all of your questions. So you have any questions, Kelsey, where can people find you?
They can find me at Instagram at the Kelsey Lee. So Kelsey is spelled KELSEYLEE.
Nice.
Or they can go to my website, kelseyleemiller.com.
Nice. So
And
definitely.
Jerry, what about you? Where can people find you?
So you can find me, easiest place is Instagram @_ Jerry Arias. And then website's coming, so we'll have a lot more content on there as well. So just follow us if you want your question answered. Hit us through the DM. Just shoot us a message. Let us know what you're thinking. And we'll, again, these are meant to be very practical advice, things that we're literally doing for ourselves and for our clients. So if you have a question, let us know, and we'll talk about it next time on this weekly segment. All right, Kelsey. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for answering these questions, and you had some great advice. I know the listeners and the viewers are going to love. And if you do any of these strategies, give us tag us. If you're meal prepping, tag Kelsey and let people know that this is where you got the helpful tip. And because as practitioners, this is why we do it. We want to know if this is actually working for you, because it definitely brings us a lot of joy to see that our education and our experiences are helping other people.
Absolutely. Peace
right.
out until next time.
All right. We'll see y'all. See ya.
All right.